What's up, guys? Blackest Night here, and today I have a treat for you guys. I wanted to bring back a deck all the way back from 2017 and bring it to 2021 with all the new cards that came out since then. And this is what I came up with. It is our Windwitch Invoked artifact. Yeah, there's a lot of cards that came out since then that really propel the deck forward in a good way. So we're gonna hop right into it without talking too much about it. So first we got our triple Aleister the Invoker. Pretty much self-explanatory. He does everything. Actually, I do want to talk about some applications that Aleister has. So everyone knows, of course, he can search the invocation and he can boost. He can quick effect boost the fusion monster by 1,000 attack. But since there's a quick effect, the boost can actually be used to dodge something like dogmatica punishment. So let's say if you have Mecha Ball on the field and you don't have a trap in your hand to negate the punishment, you could just, when they activate punishment and targeting Mecha Ball, you could discard Aleister to give it 1,000 attack, and then they'd have to send a monster with 3,500 attack to destroy the Mecha Ball, which they couldn't use. They couldn't use Intis to send. So that's actually a really cool application that didn't matter back then, but matters now. So yeah, triple Aleister the Invoker, really good card. Next we play the triple Meltdown. This is our consistency piece. Obviously, you need to play 3 of this card to see your Aleister. And, of course, it has some applications when it comes to fusion summoning. And, of course, if you activate a fusion spell while this is on the field, the opponent cannot negate the activation. They can negate the effect, like if you're playing Shaddoll, they could Ash Blossom your Shaddoll fusion. But they couldn't do something like Solemn Judgment or anything that negates spells or whatever. And then we play the 1 Terraforming to search that. And then we're playing 2 Invocation in this particular build because our main focus, Aleister is part of an engine that works with the deck as a whole. So Invocation by itself doesn't really net you any advantage if you don't open Aleister. So kind of why we're just playing 2 right now. I'm still testing it out, but that's what I've been playing with this one. That's it for the invoked stuff. The Windwitches, we play triple Ice Bell. This one's the main one. It's your starter. You want to open this turn 1 along with a copy of Aleister Terraforming or Meltdown, of course. And this one gives you a crystal lane that can't be destroyed by card effects in tandem with the 2 Glass Bell and the 1 Snow Bell. So you reveal this in your hand and it summons both this herself and a Glass Bell from the deck. And then both their effects activate on summon. So this one will allow you to search for Snowbell, and then she will burn your opponent for 500, which allows you to chain block the Glass Bell. And Snowbell, if you use it for a synchro summon, you can her effect, or its effect, I guess, allows you to make the synchro monster indestructible. It can't be destroyed by card effects. So that's pretty neat. I don't play the new. I tried out when I was testing in in the theory mode, the new Windwitch, but it's more harmful than helpful because you can only summon. You can only summon if you control Windwitches. So the only application that would be really beneficial is if you'd have to open that or Snowbell with Ice Bell, or to straight up open Glass Bell and search the Freeze Bell and make a Stardust or something, because you can only make Wind monsters and Crystal Wing requires the Synchro. So, but I ended up just nixing it from the deck for now. Onto the artifact engine, we play 1 Scythe and 1 Lancia. We're playing triple Sanctum and 2 Back to the Fronts. So I'll explain the Back to the Fronts in a bit. But we're playing the Lancia. Lancia's really good right now, and I was thinking about playing 2 Lancia, or maybe a Moral Attack. A Moral Attack would act as a like a trident. You activate this during your opponent's turn. You can destroy you can destroy a card in the field. And I think it doesn't. I think it does not target, which is kind of cool. But I ended up right now. I'm just playing with these because I'm kind of tight for space because I tried another engine that I'll get to in a minute. But Scythe is still as good as ever. You can just Sanctum it out and protect you from your opponent's extra deck for the turn. And then Lancia, of course, you can just summon that and then tribute it to prevent your opponent from banishing. Like I said, I was thinking about playing two Lancia. If I don't play a Moltec, still the 2 Lancia is an idea because it's still a good hand trap to, like, if you just want to just draw into it. Either that, or I could probably side the second and third, and that way when I go second, I can just put 2 more in, and then do it that way. And then back to the front is really good because it's a normal trap, and back in the day, I used to play Call of the Haunted, and Call of the Haunted basically was serve as a Sanctum, but like from the grave, you could just activate it and then summon one of these 2 from the graveyard during the opponent's turn, and serve as more disruption. And that's pretty much it for the artifact engine. Really cool. See, it's really cool to see how the update sort of from 2017 to 2021. Most of the cards aren't that different, but there's still a couple key differences because of the way some other cards have come out over the years. And the next engine that we ended up playing in here is Dogmatica. This one does conflict a little bit with the Ice Bell, but you can set it up so you can actually just use it either the following turn or during your next turn. We play the one Ecclesia, the one Fleur de Lis. We're playing 2 Nadir Servant and 2 Punishment. So this was kind of like, I don't want to say it was like last minute, but it kind of was. But like, because I was thinking about ways to put more like disruption in a form of not extra deck cards because of the way the Windwitch works. So I'm trying to make it as first turn friendly as possible. And if you don't open Aleister, you can still normal the Ecclesia and you can use Nadir Servant to get to it. Even if you have Crystal Wing on the field via the Windwitches, you can still normal summon the Ecclesia. You can Nadir Servant. You can even Nadir Servant even if you do open Aleister and Ecclesia. It wouldn't net you too much extra advantage, but you could do that. And the Punishment is still just a good card. You can just use it as disruption against your opponent. So that's it. We're still testing out this engine, so it might not make it in the future, but we'll see. And that's pretty much it for all the engine pieces. The next is going to be all the generic stuff. Of course, we've got our hand traps. We've got just triple Ash Blossom, and the Lancia is pretty much it for our hand traps. Looks pretty trap heavy, so I don't think I need that many hand traps as well. Under the spell, we do play another expensive card. The Triple Pot of Prosperity. I think as this deck's concept ages, this card is the best pot to play because it gives you access to banish whatever you want in your extra deck. So whatever engine you don't need from your extra deck, you can just banish it and then look at the top 6 cards. Or even 3 cards, it's pretty good still. It allows you to dig really deep for your 1-card starters like Ice Bell or Aleister or any of the pieces for Aleister. You can even dig for like trap cards like Sanctum, or like if you're already set up, you can dig for your Nadir Servants or whatever as well. So I think this is the best pot for the deck. Desires are still really good. You can play Desires. It just means that you probably wouldn't play Dogmatica, or you play more copies of some of the cards. And then Extravagance, I think, is like not the worst option, but it's not the most inoptimal option. I'd rather play the Spellbook engine over Extravagance, but I I think this one is the best right now, just for this deck. And so, yeah, that's it for that. Then we play, of course, the one called by the grave. And that rounds out our spells. In our generic trap, we play a triple trap trick, if you haven't already guessed. With tons of good normal traps for our engines, this card is like a no-brainer. It didn't exist back in 2017, but definitely really good now. Playing cards like Punishment. And back to the front's normal trap, which is why I brought it up earlier. You can back to the front this to activate as a sort of call on it for your scythe if you've already used it for the sanctums. You can still trap trick sanctum, and then of course we play double Ice Dragon's Prison that you can trap trick out as well. And that rounds out the main deck. I believe it's 41 cards because I couldn't bring myself to reduce the number of punishments I play to 1. So that's it for the main deck. Onto the extra deck. It's pretty straightforward. There's probably a couple things that are kind of spicy, but mostly it's pretty straightforward. Play double Mechabo, the main fusion, double Raijin, the other main fusion. Most of the time, Raijin actually puts up a lot more work than Mechabo does. I'm gonna be honest with you. The Book of Moon effect is really good, especially if you can summon it while you have Meltdown on the field, because you can summon it and activate its effect on summon, and the opponent can't even respond to it. It's pretty neat. We play the one Purgatrio. We play one Agodes. This effect also activates on summon. You can just pop a card on the field, and of course you have Meltdown, your opponent can't respond to it. And this is one of the ones that activates on special summon, so if it's in the grave, you can use back to the front to bring it back and blow up another card on the field. So it's pretty good. And then we play, that's it for the Invoked stuff. We play the Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon for our Windwitch boss monster. We will have our Clay Wing and Winter Bell for our go-intos. So typically, you can probably cut one of these two. I just play both because, I mean, there's not really any other extra deck cards you really need in this deck because we're not playing a ton of links because of the way the Windwitches work. But this is pretty much just one of these will probably end up being fodder for Prosperity. And then you just summon the other one and go into your combo that way. And then we play the one Chambara for our Windwitch Invoked OTK. I don't even know if a lot of people know about that FTK, but I talked about it back in 2017, and it became irrelevant once Links came out because of the extra Monster Zone thing. But now that the Master Rule has changed back to favor other forms of extra deck monsters, the OTK is back, and I can show you guys what it looks like if you would like to see that. And it's pretty much, you have to like be able to clear your opponent's boards. Back in 2017, you played cards like Raigeki, Dark Hole, and Kaido Slumber. But now, you probably play something like Lightning Storm or I don't know, Forbidden Droplet or something like that to break your opponent's board and then go to the OTK. And then onto our Dogmatica, we play the double Intis. I probably should play a Titaniclad for our first turn, the Dear Servant, but I didn't end up putting it in there. I probably should play a Titaniclad because it gives us access to the Fleur de Lis or the Ecclesia if we need it. And then for our links, we play the one Secure Gardener and the Amarage for Aleister. And then we play the one BLS link because it's actually summonable. You can go into it pretty easily after turn 1. So it's another pseudo boss monster that doesn't require a bunch of extra materials in the grave like Access Code or Bull Sword to make. So that's it for the deck. If you guys enjoyed the deck, sorry about my voice going out at the end. If you guys enjoyed this deck and want to see more, you can leave a like and subscribe for more upcoming deck profiles. I want to do more, not really off the wall, but like sort of decks from the past or fun decks that I enjoy playing. There will be some meta. Of course, this is like built as meta competitive as probably possible. Yeah, so I'll be probably profiling another Invoked list. I know no one wants to see Invoked, but it's a pretty good deck. So, but like I said, leave a like and consider subscribing for more Yu-Gi-Oh content. But this has been Black as Night, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.